All right, everybody, welcome back. It is January 11th, 2025. It's about 8 in the morning right now. It's really cold outside. It's about 32 degrees, which is really cold considering, where we live down here. Little space heater's been putting in work, man. I can't praise this thing enough. It's 55 degrees in here, and actually I just came in last night about 9 o'clock and turned it on. It had been off most of the week, so it had to bring it up, and it maintained it pretty good. Today we're picking up right where we left off on the 62. Not really a whole lot scheduled, maybe 4 hours worth of work. We're going to take down these quarters. You guys watched last weekend. We had the sandblaster come out, and he did kind of all the structural areas, or the areas that we felt comfortable with him doing that wouldn't warp. We declined services on the quarter panels because we're going to take those down mechanically. We're going to be using the blue disc. I don't have them in here right now. I'll show you guys in a second. And some 80 grit on the DeWalt 7-inch. And all we're going to be doing is taking down the outsides. The jams are already blasted. Sail panel's already blasted. The trunk jams are already blasted. The tail light pocket's already blasted. So just the outsides. Shouldn't take long, really. And then we're going to get them in epoxy. The same epoxy, SPI black. We've got a fresh gallon. We've got a fresh gallon. It's inside the house. Like I said, this really ain't a whole lot of work between me and Bobby. Two-man army today. And we should knock it out, probably before lunch. So, hope you guys enjoy this process. Let's get it going. All that's left is to DA it once you're done with the wire wheel. So what we're doing now is we got, I think this is 60 grit on a DA. We did we used the blue discs first, and then we used the polisher with 60 grit, which probably has enough scratch. We probably don't need to DA it, but out of habit we're doing it anyways. And then we'll blow it off and then start cleaning it. But I mean, it's brand new metal, so this was a lot easier than the hood. We did both sides in about an hour and a half. And you want to use the DA because it puts random scratches. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but it puts little squigglies, little pigtails everywhere, which that just gives more tooth for the epoxy to bite into. But the sandblasted surface I think is the best. We can do a little test. I mean, the shit ain't peeling off, you know what I mean? It's scratching it, but it's not peeling off. So I would argue that the sandblasted surface is the best prep for the epoxy, and the DA is second. But whatever. So we're just gonna knock this out, DA this down real quick. You can see I'm not spending a whole lot of time, just going real quick. Blow it out, man. I think we should wait maybe till about 2 to spray it. That way it's a little bit warmer. 61 degrees. Maybe by 2 or 3 it'd be a little bit warmer. Maybe closer to 70, which would be ideal.
2 hours?
Yeah. I'm just gonna finish DAing this down. We'll blow it out. We'll bring you guys back when we start mixing. All right, we got this thing pushed in the dungeon here. This thing needs a major cleaning and repaint and new lights, but we're gonna get it done. So the process for this was we stripped all the E-coat off with the blue disc, with 60 grit on the polisher, and then 80 or 60 grit on the DA. And then we blew it off with a microfiber by hand with air, compressed air, to get all the heavy stuff off. And now what I'm going to do is clean it with solvent-based wax and grease remover first, SPI. 61 degrees in here. I'm hoping it gets a little bit warmer. I'm going to clean it with the solvent-based first, part number 710-1, and then we're going to use the waterborne stuff after that. It's recommended for bare metal. You guys hear me say that all the time if you watch the channel. So all we're going to do is get the quarters. And inside that quarter there, it had some funky rust in there, and any little areas that may have been missed last weekend. I know there's some spots up in here and just little areas that were missed. Gas door is shaved. Cut that down to match the passenger side. So we're gonna get this thing in this epoxy, let it sit. So let me get to cleaning, and I'll bring you guys back once I start mixing up the paint. All right, so we're getting ready to spray these 2 quarter panels. I think I'm gonna start out with a quart. So we're gonna go 16 and 16. 16 ounces of activator first. and 16 ounces of paint, or epoxy I should say. Now this is pretty fresh. I just got it 2 days ago, so I don't know how long it was sitting on the shelf over there where they make it, but it shouldn't be that old. So you know right away, need a better stir stick. You'll know right away when your stir stick hits the bottom of the gallon. That's pretty fresh. That's pretty fresh. It's not all gummed up. A little bit, but not much. Sometimes it's, you know, if this thing sits inside the house now for 6 months and bring it back out, it's going to be gummed up on the bottom. It's like all the solids settle to the bottom. Regardless if it's gummed up or not, you still want to stir it. So I just finished cleaning the panels with both cleaners. I'm gonna let that sit for about an hour because it's a little cold. It's 60 degrees. We want to make sure those solvents and everything evaporate out. I did go after it with the air, compressed air, kind of chase it out. But in more mild temperatures like this, you definitely want to slow the process down because stuff isn't evaporating like it is when it's 95 degrees. So we're going to let it sit for about an hour while we let this epoxy induce as well. So since the gallon is full and I don't have one of those dispensers or whatever you want to call it, I scoop. Got a stainless steel mixing cup. Figure out how we're going to do this. Cup's clean. The downside to this is you got to clean the cup. But I've been looking for disposable cups. If I can find disposable cups for about 10 cents each, we'll just do that and throw it away. And we're going to go to 32. 32. Okay. Now we're going to stir it. And we're going to let it sit. We're going to stir it up for about 10-15 seconds. And then we're going to let it sit while we let the panel dry. About an hour. Probably eat some lunch. Come back in, stir it one more time, be ready to spray. Stuff mixes 1-to-1. You can either read the cup, you can do it by weight, or you can do it by ounces. I usually go by ounces, 16 ounces and 16 ounces, that's 1-to-1. You want it full strength over bare metal. So let me get this cup cleaned up here, bring you guys back once we're ready to spray. All right, it's been about an hour, it's 63 degrees. It was 64, that means it's cooling off. So I think right now is the warmest it's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and spray it. Using a Vevor, I'll put a link in the description. I believe it's a 1.4, it might be a 1.3. At this stage it really doesn't matter. 2.5 turns out on the fluid, 25 PSI. Not quite a full fan, but almost. And we're going to spray at least 2 coats. But if we can get 3, even better. First coat, you want to go light, you don't want to go heavy. If you go heavy, it's going to crater up. So we're just going to kind of go medium on the first coat. We do have some areas to spot in that we missed last time, but we should be all right.
Yeah, man. Turn the fans off.
Right, so that's 3 coats. 3 coats, end up using 32 and 16, which is 48 ounces for 3 coats on these quarter panels, which is approximately 15 per coat. We only put it where it needed it, was a little bit in the jams, the quarters, the wheel lips, the center filler panel, a little bit in the jams. Went ahead and sprayed a little bit on the taillight pockets just because, but that's pretty much it. Really the only real work it needs is where the gas tank was.
Where I worked it?
And somehow we got a dent up here, I don't know. But outside of that, I mean, these things are straight. Really, the passenger side part doesn't need anything, man. I mean, may just go 1 round of polyester primer, and that's it. I don't even think it needs any filler, honestly. So now the car is officially rust-free. That's something to celebrate. There's no more rust on the car. It's been sandblasted. It's been taken down mechanically. Everything is in 2 to 3 coats of epoxy. I got the space heater going. It's 57 degrees. It's going to get a little bit warmer. So we're going to let this sit here for, however long we need. Oh, I'm lying. It needs a little bit right here where you gapped it. Very little. But man, as far as the side, money. It is money.
Huh.
What?
Was it tested right there or something? On the inside?
Maybe. There's dirt nibs and whatever. I'm used to that. That's nothing. But I'm just looking at how straight the side is. The block is going to tell us the truth, but it doesn't need much. So this was the last of the car. Battery keeps dying on it. So anyways, that's a wrap for this car for now. Next up is going to be, we're going to put some all metal on any seams. Like example right here in the sail panel where there was a repair. Gas door, any welded seams. There's no pinholes, but I like to go over with just a little skim coat of all metal, possibly right here, and then go filler on top of that. So we got sandpaper, we got filler, we got all metal, we got high build primer, 2K, SPI. So we got enough materials to last us several weeks. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all stay tuned for more work. Thanks for watching.